Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Izam. In today's video, I will be doing a watercolor art on a cute panda. So this is using Tayasui Sketches Pro app on my iPad Pro. So without further ado, let's have a look at how I did it. Hey guys, so today we're going to paint a panda. So start a new canvas. I'm going to paint using a watercolor paint again. So let's get the watercolor paintbrush, the second one, and I'm going to set the color. We're going to draw the sky first. Alright, so I'm going to use this particular color, this blue. Let's check on the size. Okay, to bring this up, remember you just need to press and hold, and you can bring these options up. I'm going to bring up the opacity to the fullest, set the size to quite big, about there, so we can cover a lot of space. I'm pressing onto the screen. Okay, so now I'm going to make it lighter, so I'm going to bring down the opacity right down to 1. Now I have not dried the paint yet, so I can just move the color downwards and out. I'm fading it outwards. Remember, there is no color right now, so I'm just fading it out. Bring it up. So now we have sky. Great. Now let's try. Now that we have the sky, let's have the ground. Have another layer, and this time let's use a different color. Let's have it as green. So bring up the opacity to the highest, and then let's color it in like that. This is the horizon, just one stroke. Now we can spread the color outwards and downwards. Bring down the opacity first, then swipe like this. Bring down the color, so you can see that there is a clear line here. Okay, now let's try this. Great. Now that we have this sky and the ground, we can begin to draw our panda. Because panda is white and black, so if we have a white background, it is very difficult to see and to paint. Now that we have a new layer, get the paintbrush, so make sure it's the second one, change the color to white, and remember to change the opacity to the fullest. And now bring down the brush size to about 100. Let's draw the head of the panda. So he's going to be lying down, so he's going to be close to the ground. So let's begin. We're drawing here. I'm going to zoom in, and let's paint like this, an oval shape like that, a couple of times to make the color more saturated. So now this is done. Let it dry. Good. The next one will be the face and the ears. Let's draw the ears first. So now use black color, select the black color, and then we will draw the ears. For the ears, it's going to be here. I think we need to change the brush size smaller. So always check, okay, if it's too big, then make your brush size smaller. So that's one ear, another one here. Now I'm going to paint the ears over here, just slightly touching the head, okay, to give the impression that the ear, this particular ear, is behind the head, but this one is in the foreground. Alright, it's in front. Alright, And the ears over here is slightly smaller than this one, because to give the impression that this is further away from you. Okay, let it dry. So that's done. The next thing that we're going to do is paint the nose. So to paint the nose, now the panda is lying down and he's looking in this direction, downwards. So the nose will be closer to the ground. So let's paint the nose over here. Okay, let's begin. Something like this, just like that, and let it dry. Next is the eyes. Panda eyes, they have a big black patch over here. This is what you will get if you don't get enough sleep as well. Panda will be looking downwards, so the head will be tilted downwards. So the eye, the big patch, the black patch will be somewhat further down, okay, closer to the nose. So we will paint something like this. So we will start from here and downwards like this. Alright, and color it some more. And this side is done, but I think I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Over here, the top part will be slimmer than the bottom part. Alright, and now we will start drawing this side of the face. So begin from the top and bring down close to the edge. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to let you see it's close to the edge, but not out of the edge. Take note of that. Okay, just a small patch over here. This is smaller than this because this is further away, and let it dry. So now we're going to draw the hands. So for the hands, let's have a new layer for this so that we do not, disturb the head in case we need to move the hands or we need to erase it later on. So have another layer, and then this time, this layer, I want you to tap and hold and bring it below the head layer. Okay, because the hands will be below the head. So let's start from this side of the head. So begin. Don't go over the head, just on the edges, like this. Okay, carefully, round, like that. A bit more. It's just below the eyes, like this. Okay, so you see, this is where it ends, and this lines up with the eyes, the eye patch. Okay, we're done with this. Now let's draw the other hand. For the other hand, again, we will start below the eyes here and go out like this, close to the head but not painting over the head. Okay, so that is done. Smaller than this, and let it dry. And that's it for the head. We are done there. The next thing we're going to do is the body. For the body, let's have a new layer. For the new layer, let's tap and hold the new layer right below the head and right below the hands. So now let's draw the body. Now take care that you do not paint over the head or the ears. Just make sure that you change the color to white. So now let's begin. Paint like that. We start from here in the middle of the head, here, and downwards like that. A big ball. It's going to be a big ball like that. I might need to change the brush size, so let's bring it down to about 25 or 27 so that I have more precise control. And sit. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Okay, looking good so far. Great, so it's a big ball like that. Make it a little bit bigger like this. Okay, and let's have something here coming out. This is the tail. Okay, so that is done, and let's let it dry. Next, have another layer for the legs. So for the legs, this will just be on top, the top layer. So change the color to black, and now let's draw it over here. It's going to be over the body like that, like a teardrop comes from behind the body and on top of the body like that. Okay, and let it dry. Now we will paint the shadow. So have another layer, and this new layer we will be focusing on the shadows. Okay, this particular color is this, so let's have this color and set the opacity to about 40, and let's begin. We will start by painting over here below the head like this, and over here the body. Okay, just a thin line like this, relatively thin line. That, this, and like that. Maybe on below the ears. Okay, now set the opacity to the lowest. Now let's do this. Drag the color away. Something like this, and let it dry. Okay, so now that we have this panda, let's have another layer. We're going to draw the features, the facial features of the panda. So this time use the smaller brush. Alright, set the opacity to the highest, maybe set the size to 13. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to use white, and I'm going to draw the eyes. I will draw a dot, something like this, something like this. So now I'll use the black color to draw the mouth. So it's just going to be very thin. I'm going to be changing the brush size to about 10. it's gonna have its tongue sticking out. So I'm gonna have a pink color and I'm gonna paint something like this. Its tongue sticking out like that. Okay, and let it dry. He or she, the panda, is actually in full concentration. He is actually going to be scribbling something on a piece of paper or a book. So let's draw a pen or a pencil in his hand. Alright, so I have a new layer. And we're going to draw a pencil. So for this pencil, let's choose this yellow color. I'm going to zoom in, make sure you have a new layer. Draw a stick sticking out from the hand like this, and the stick will come out here. Okay, let's let it dry. Next, we'll draw the little eraser at the top of the pencil. Let's let it dry. And the nib, it's going to be brown. I'm going to set the size of the brush smaller, and I'm going to paint here. Let it dry. Okay, so the pencil is done, but let's have some shadow on the pencil. So I have a brown color like this. Set the opacity to about 25, and let's just draw an outline here and here. And set the opacity to the lowest and just drag the color out like this. I hope you can see it. The next thing is the book. For the book, let's have a new layer. So for this new layer, I'm going to increase the opacity to the fullest. Remember that. Set the brush size to about 10. And the book will be white, or maybe not white, just off-white, this kind of white. This is the value. Okay, and I will begin by drawing it here. And let it dry. And to make things interesting, let's draw some heart shapes here. So I'm gonna use maybe this color. This looks like maroon. So I'm gonna paint something like this. And that's it. Let it dry. So to make things interesting, have a layer for the shadow that the bear is casting on the ground. So for this shadow, drag this layer and drag it right to the bottom above the ground. Now switch to the biggest second brush actually. So set the opacity to maybe 25 or 27, and then set the brush size about 100. Set the color to brown, this brown, and let's begin. We will paint over here, slightly over here, 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 there. That's it. Now drag the opacity downwards and just drag the color out. And let it dry. Now let's draw some grasses. Have another layer. Change the color to maybe this dark green, set the opacity to the highest, but I'm going to change the brush size to the first one, the smallest, and I'm going to keep the size to about 9. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's good. So I'm just going to paint like that. Just stipple like that. Okay, so now let's have some fun and just scribble some letterings. I'm going to use this pen, the Indian ink pen. Use black ink, black color, and just going to write I think black is not as cool as white, so make sure you have, and I'm going to use white. Okay, white, and just write something like this. Alright, it's done. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you can follow through. I hope it's easy for you to follow. And if it's not, you can just rewind and try again. So I hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.